What's going on, Paisanos? V here. Come on, you guys. Well, on a market watch today. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and what I want to do in this video is not just show you the price of some of the single cards and what I think you should buy or sell, but some of the booster boxes, because some of these booster boxes, in my opinion, are dirt cheap. Some of them are starting to rise in value because people are realizing that, and some of them will probably stay on the floor forever. I just want to show you something that's really crazy. This is the latest set of Pokemon, and look at their singles market. One could only dream. But I do think there'll be a time in this game where the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG market will be like this. I think it's crazy to think that we're going to have these core sets come out with these relatively low prices for long. I think as the time goes on, as the market gets bigger within the TCG market, Magic Gathering seeing a boom, Pokemon's definitely seeing a boom. I mean, they're getting scalped left and right, but that's a whole different subject. But the singles in these markets are absolutely insane. And I think in Yu-Gi-Oh! It is inevitably going to hit that. Look at the recent set, Doom Dimensions. A booster box of this set that just recently came out is $43. Now, from a store perspective, these booster boxes usually go for anything from 56 to 58 at the lowest. Unless they changed prices. It's been a while since I checked, but unless prices have changed, it's normally $56 to $58. So these are being sold at a loss. That's what you're going to see for probably a lot of booster box prices. They're going to be all sold at a loss. And the reason why is because they're holding 30, 7, 14. So the question is, do you buy Doom and Dimensions? Well, booster boxes. Well, let's check it out. If you look at the singles, you're going to notice a couple of things. Number one, Marshall Yummy is definitely the hottest card. If you pull this card, it pays for the entire booster box. It's currently, and I don't know why it says 24. It's not 24. It's probably these disgusting Korean cards. I hate these cards. It's about $48. So that basically just about pays for your booster box with shipping, taxes, so on and so forth. And that's the best figure you can pull. Now, there's also K904 Noroi. This card's about $24. And this card's not bad. Once again, if you pull this card, it's decent, but is it going to be able to pay for your booster box? Well, no, not really, because the next highest rarity card is Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis, the Thunderbolt. It's about $14. 14 and 24 last attack is about, what, $38? I'm really bad at math. 38 still not enough, especially if you was to sell those cards. So these two want to make up for it, but nonetheless, is this a booster box you might want to consider buying? Well, in my opinion, not really. I mean, once again, unless you just like collecting booster boxes for some ungodly reason. I remember years ago, people were asking me when I was doing market watches like every day. People were asking me, they're going, V, you're sleeping on the sealed market. Bro, I guess I'm in a coma, because there's no way I'm going to wake up and buy boxes of Doom and Dimensions for $44, let alone whatever stores are selling these at, which I would imagine is anywhere from $75 to $85 if I would imagine in stores. So, yeah, no, I must be in a coma when it comes down to Doom and Dimensions, because even though this is a nifty set, is it really worth it? No, it's not even close to being worth it. Even the Starlight Red prices aren't that crazy. In fact, don't get me wrong, I think Marshall Yummy is a great card. Obviously, if you're running any Yummy deck, you need this card. And they have decent cards like Bramble, Roach Dragon. It's cool. Tri-Brigade Arms Mauser. Once again, it's cool. Not seeing much play, but still cool cards. Has a lot of potential, but it's not really worth the money. Now, 2025 mega packs obviously didn't have any booster boxes, but I really want to talk about some cards that I really liked in 2025 mega packs, because I think there's still money in this set. I think there's a lot of money in this set that people are sleeping on. And I'm not talking about the first row. The first row you just ignore. You ignore Impulse Purge, both Charmies. These are going to get reprinted. Why even look at these? Imperium being a Starlight Rare at $13 is decent, but there are better versions. Can Starlight Rare and Imperium go up in value? Well, historically speaking, Imperium has went up in value after it's initially launched. So there is a chance it can happen with the Starlight Rare. I don't know if it will, but you can't say no when we have historical data backing that it actually has done this. One of my favorite cards out of 2025 Mega Pack is SP Little Knight. This is easily my favorite card. I own the QCR, and the Starlight Rare looks really good as well. The Starlight Rare value is roughly around $10 for the way on TCG Player, and it's worth it. If you want to grab some cards that have good value or potential, SP Little Knight is that card. I mean, there's nothing else that can make it. They have a QCR, they have a Starlight Rare. That's the end of it. Unless Konami's new art rarity throws an SP Knight, which it can, this is going to be the one that will more likely rise in value. Now, it's not rising right now because the best decks in the game, majority of them are not playing SP Lone Knight. But with that said, will there be a good Link deck in the future? Yes. In fact, I argue Malice is still one of the best decks in the game. In the OCG, it's just barely the most dominant deck, and SP Lone Knight is a staple. So I definitely think this is a card you might want to consider picking up. You got other cards like Regeki over here, Starlight Rare. It's $4, it's not bad. It does have an Ultimate Rare. The OG first edition versions will always be the most expensive versions, but Starlight Rare alternate art, not a bad price for this card whatsoever. Retaliant CC's play, it's $4, it's dirt cheap. Game of Seal Starlight Rare, I mean, anytime it says Kaiju Starlight Rare, you can want to consider picking it up. Now would be a good time to pick up your Bestial Duelist Worm and Bahamut Starlight Rares. I know when they first came out, people were like, should I get them? You shouldn't. They were like $8 to $9. It was like absolutely insane. But now is an excellent time to pick it up. Harvest Philadelphia Starlight Rare, sure, why not? It's $3. Why not grab that card? It's an excellent card to pick up. Great rarity. Once again, Bista Magnum at $2-3. Snatch that bad boy. Chaos Slug's a great card for a GOAT format. And you can buy the Ultra Rare. How much is the Ultra Rare? I know the Ultra Rare Chaos Slug used to be like $75. I bought 2 forever ago, dude. Forever ago. Let's see right now. How much is it going for? It's going for crisp. Let's do English versions. $239. Hell no, says everybody. Once again, the yield market is always founded on this principle. If it's expensive, I want it. But if it's too expensive, what's the second one? And the second one for a Chaos Sorcerer is going to be this one. In fact, it's going to be this one, and Bomb Shop Hole Starlight Rare will also be the second one. I know you're going to say, but V, Bomb Shop Hole has a secondary rarity, a secondary highest rarity that's been there forever. It just got bumped. Let's be honest. So for anyone who doesn't understand what I'm talking about, Bomb Shop Hole is definitely used a lot in Essen format. You could argue the Joey's World version, which is like $10, is the second best. There's another Ultra Rare too. Villain's Revenge has a reprint as an Ultra Rare, whatever. The Starlight Rare version is $2. That's the second best rarity. I don't care what anyone says. I own 2 Bomb Shop Hole cheap CB4s, and I'm telling you, the second best is Starlight Rare. Now, it's funny because normally what you see here on the chart, when something gets a reprint, it usually goes down and slowly climbs back up. I mean, IP Massacre has that a million times, but Bomb Shop Hole just got more expensive. People saw a Starlight Rare and they're like, I'm buying more. This card right now is roughly around, so this is a lightly played unlimited, it's about 800. That's not a bad price, to be honest with you. Because after that one's sold, it's about $1,300 for the next one. After that one's sold, it's $1,500. So, Bomb Shop Hole can get a price point of Stardust Dragon. Ghost Rare, by the way. Remember, keep that $1,500 in your mind. $1,500 in your mind. A Stardust Dragon, a Ghost Rare, is near that. Am I wrong? No, okay, it's $2,000. Okay, it's been a while since I did a market watch. Last I checked, this was a lot lower. $2,000 for a Stardust Dragon Ghost Rare. My bad. Nevertheless, Bomb Shop Hole is getting near Ghost Rare Stardust Dragon. That is crazy. But it makes sense because, once again, these are the highest. Konami cannot make any more Stardust Dragons like this. Even if they was to make another Ghost Rare Stardust Dragon, it won't be specifically this one. This one will have a price to go down, then it'll go back up, like I said, IP Masquerena. Nonetheless, that's crazy. Alright, what I'm trying to say is Chaos Slug's a good buy. It's a great buy. So is Bomb Shop Hole. Rescue Ace Hydrant you should buy because I like Rescue Ace, and so should you. If you don't like Rescue Ace, you're a freaking weirdo. Bestial Vortex is another great buy. Buy 3 of those. Call it a day. Same thing with Magnamut. Same thing with Druid's Room. Just buy them in 3s because by the time these come up the ban list and everyone rushes back to buy these and the price jacks up, you'd already have yours. So you don't have to run to that line. I hate when people go to me, do I do it now? For that case, you run that out. You run now and buy it before everyone realizes it could go to 3. And if it was to go to 3, the price will obviously jack up a lot in value. We'll just do 3 pages. This is the 3rd page. I'm not going to go too crazy on this. Once again, I think Metamorphosis Ultra Rare is another great buy. Sure, why not? I mean, it finally got a reprint. Finally, it needed one. Look at the rest of the cards. They're all decent. Millennium Ankh Starlight Rare, 74 cents. Sure. Anything Millennium that's like, gets that kind of price point, why not? Spell card must be born, Starlight Rare. Buy a playset of that, or you can RO9 if you really want to. You might have to sit on it for a while, but it's a very niche card that I think will have use in the future of the game. All right, let's talk about Justice Hunters, because this box actually held its value. Now, I know it originally debuted between, once again, 75 to 85. Some OTS stores were pre-selling for 100. Makes sense. It's a hot set. This set was caught. Everybody wins the set. Looking at Justice Hunters, though, the price point is $57. Now, don't look at the 3 months. Okay, that's where you're wrong. You're looking from $59 to $56, and it's currently around $57. So it's about hovering around that price point. Really good price for this set, because this set is the everybody wins set. So if you can buy a box of Justice Hunters, why not? Now, it's only good for the current competitive meta. Obviously, Konami will always jack the price up, or will make reprints on cards and have those prices jack up, what I meant to say. Nonetheless, it's not a bad card, not a bad booster box to pick up, and the cards in it aren't bad as well. Whether or not the cards last, which it's Yu-Gi-Oh, they never really do. I think the cards will hold decent value because of Genesis format. Genesis format might hold the value of these cards. Now, if you play Yummies, ignore everything I just said, okay? And thank God, Yummy players, all right? You're having your fun right now, Yummy players, all right? Soon you won't, and then everyone else in the game can have their fun. I don't know. Yummies is, it's just like they're good for the current meta for now, but I'm already ready for something to like push them out. I like playing Yummies, but I like finding something that's better than Yummies because I'm already bored of them. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Nonetheless, is there value in here? Yeah, sure, but not really. Let me explain. You see, a lot of these Starlight Rares like K9 and Azuna was really high in value, and now it's just tanking and tanking, but it's doing it slowly. It's death by 1,000 cuts. I would argue Rahu Dracotel has better value because Dracotel itself has better value. Nobody's coming off that deck core. Everyone's pretty much holding the Dracotel cards, which is weird. And the reason I say weird is because that's a CR, okay, Dracotel players? In case you don't know the rules around these parts in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, if it gets a CR, Konami always makes it higher. It used to be QCRs, but now, don't be surprised if Rahu Dracotel gets a Starlight Rare. Wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. In fact, any of these other Dracotel cards that are CRs, Konami can easily make them a Starlight Rare if they haven't been done already. Ain't that right, Famina? Well, money. So I do think that, you know, Dracotels are definitely decent for their value. Out of everything, they probably have the longest value out of everything, bang for the buck wise. I think K9 is right behind them, and I think Yummies are just good enough for now, and it's not really worth buying. All right, Duelist Advance booster boxes are $28. $28. That's crazy. Look at that. Look at that. They were pre-selling for 100, and they're 28. This is probably the lowest selling booster box. But is it worth buying? Let's check it out. Okay, so looking at Duelist Advance, and here's where I'm going to throw everyone off guard. I think $25 for a booster box is too low. I think this is worth buying and holding on to. I know, you're like, V, what are you talking about, bro? There's nothing I need in it. Sure, there's nothing you need right now. But you must forget there are so many things that you do need in the future. Strikers will always have striker things. Konami loves strikers. They like are we even kind of gonna have this talk? They're always gonna make stuff for strikers. They're always gonna make stuff for monarchs, which, by the way, the set has monarchs and strikers. And eventually, strikers is gonna be meta. Eventually, monarchs will be meta. If you played monarchs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you played strikers, hey, by the way, you can still get your invite with strikers today. I do think that Konami loves this set. I think Konami will eventually make this set go up in value. Not on purpose by them going, oh man, we need to make this set to really boost those Duelist Advanced booster boxes. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is, Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to come back and go, man, do you have any of the Monarch cards or new Striker cards? Well, not really new, but Duelist Advanced Striker cards? No, because nobody pulled or saved cards from the set because the set was a joke. And rightfully so. With that said, was it $26? $28 for booster boxes of Duelist Advance? I think it's insanely cheap. I think you should definitely keep your eye on this. I think cards like Sky Striker A0 is a good buy. I think other cards like Sky Striker Special Maneuver Lemon Skate is a good buy as a Starlight Rare. I think Eidos is a good buy in this set. Kyberman the Legend is a buy for collectors. Gorgon of Zithalonia is a great buy. It's just not being used right now. No one's playing that shit right now, but that's a good buy. And by the way, little fun fact for anyone in case you forgot, Art Mages gets this goofy card over here. That does see a ton of play. Now, obviously, you don't need to get the Secret Rare. I mean, you don't need to get the Starlight Rare. Secret Rare right there. By the way, Secret Rare slowly jacked up as you fall asleep. It used to be 10 bucks. It's like 15 bucks because Art Mages are used in Genesis format. So what I'm trying to tell you is, this booster boxes that are what are they again? $28? Man, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe not today. Definitely not tomorrow. And you can bet on more than likely not next week they're going to jack up in value. But I do think there'll be a time where these booster boxes of Duelist Advance will rise in value. Mark my words. Up next, Battle Legends Monster Mayhem. This booster box is $45. Is it worth it? Well, let's check it out. Looking over here, this set is, well, they also have this. Like, every card in this set is not the best card for the most part. Gem Knight, Neperium, whatever it is, just earmuffs. But everything else, this is like the second place best card, maybe even third place. Blue-Haired Dragon, man, if you pull this card in this set, you sell it. That's a smart thing to do. You sell that Chibi Blue Eyes card because there's infinitely better Blue Eyes cards in the game. But looking at this, I think these Starlight Rares aren't bad cards, and it's not a bad gamble. King of the Pharaoh is a bad gamble. Honest, not a bad gamble. And when you're holding these booster boxes, you're holding the opportunity of pulling these. You gotta realize if you hold these to later on sell, you're holding an opportunity that you're selling those booster boxes on the chance. Think about any old booster box in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can especially think about it in Pokemon, and you can definitely think about it in Magic. When you're holding an old booster box, what you're selling is not obviously the booster box or the nostalgia. Nobody cares about that. You're selling the chance to pull a Chibi Blue Eyes, a chance to pull a Lady's Dragon Maid Starlight Rare, the chance. And you're selling that versus the amount of cards in the pool, which there are a ton, that people are going to want to buy. Now, with that said, is it worth buying at $45? No. This will go down in value. Nobody cares about this set at all. It'll hit about 30, and then we'll probably come back and revisit it. I do think at 30, it'll be good to buy those booster boxes. Looking at Battle Legends, though, I mean, once again, Hair to Orange is pretty cool if they never made an Ultra Rare. Dark Paladin Chibi's cool, but it's collectors, and Dark Paladin already has the 2 alternate art Ultra Rare and Secret Rares, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. Or the 2 Ultra Rares. They're just insanely expensive, so they don't really care about, like, that one. This one's a cool card, Dogmatica card, but this should have been released forever ago. Once again, like, if you get these cards, you're not going to complain, but you're not going to brag. That's a set in a nutshell. That just looks insane, by the way. That just looks dope as hell. But you want the OG Trish. Let's be real. If you have the OG Necros Max Rarity, you want OG Trish. Crowley went up a little bit in value, but ended up started going back down because nobody really is playing it as much. Gemini Fusion Starlight Rare is cool, but Gemini's kind of faded a little bit after Nationals. So once again, the current value on this set isn't really there, but there's future value on the set that I think that will happen once it goes down to its real price, which is $30, not this goofy ass $45. Alliance Inside booster boxes are currently, well, $31. $31, and if you look at the past 3 months it's been taking, the past month it's been trying to stay stable. It's trying to hold $31. It's not doing so good. Past 6 months, it's definitely not doing good. It's been falling like crazy. So let's go look at this set over here. Okay, so look at this set. Obviously, Songs and Dominators was one of the big cards people wanted. Mouse Marcher was one of the big cards. The Baby Dragons were some of the big cards. And, oh, Live Twin, you know, well, that was like the current stuff people wanted. But let's talk about what people want now. What people want now from this set is basically nothing. There's no real value in why, unless you want to buy some Regenesis cards, unless you're still picking up max rarity stuff for your Malice deck, sure. You got Backup Anissa's Match March here. Nobody's chasing Songs of the Dominators. Nobody's really going crazy for that. For the most part, this set is pretty much calmed down. With that said, is this a bad set? I would say no. I think some cards like Gordon Slicer is slept on. And you probably don't even know what the card does, but it's a really good card. This card's activation and effect cannot be negated at starting your main phase 1 or 2. Target any number of facial cards on the field. For each targeted card, banish one card from your hand, or 6 cards from your extra deck face down, then return those cards to the hand. I would say this card specifically is a sleeper card in this entire set. Now that's for the QCR. Oh, I forgot about Alico. Alico's kind of nice. And once again, like I said, Regenesis. That's for the QCR. The regular secret version of Gordian Slicer is about $5. And I do think, once again, this is a huge sleeper card in this set. But is it worth a box of Alliance Insight at $31? The answer is no. Of course not. I think it has good sub-deck cores in it. That's pretty cool. And potentially can see more cards being released, which will obviously make this set a little bit more valuable, but make the singles more valuable. And that's, I think, is more important in this set. I think this set is really good for its singles, not really good for buying as a sealed and having the chance of cracking, like, Duration or Diabellstar Vengeance, Snake Eye Vengeance Dragon. Like, you would have to crack specific cards, and everything else is not as good. And that would have to be obviously a starter rare, which is not as easy to pull as a secret rare. So the only secret rare I see in page 1, if I'm not mistaken, well, you got March at 18, Songs Dominate at 12, and the booster box is coming in here at 31. It just makes no sense. Let's talk about one more set real quickly. It's Century Stampede, the last hurrah from QCRs. Looking at Century Stampede, Call by the Grave, the Altar has never changed price. Think about that. This card debuted, and it was like, I mean, okay, now it's going up in value, actually. It was 90. This card, I was saying, was $76, and now it's going to 90. It debuted around 80, went to 76, and said, that's the best as you're going to get here, buddy. And now, the alternate art Call by the Grave is at 90. This is the best version of Call by the Grave in the entire game. The other QCR, which I own, I like it, but this is the better version. No question about it. The Bureau alternate art, I think if you own this one, you just really like QCRs, and you know what, fair enough. The alternate art in the Bureau does look badass. It looks super cool. But the best in the Bureau, the problem being, is still, is the ultimate rare just not, well, hold on. The ultimate rare is 57, hold on. This is more than the ulti. Okay, so technically this is the highest rarity, technically this is the most valuable. This is the better one. Like, let's be real, like, this is infinitely the better one. OTS packs, as time pulls away from them, goes up in value. This will be worth more value in the future. It's cool to see this one hold good value, though. Once again, the card's so bad. Konami needs to make an ultimate rare version of this, and then the both versions, this one and the ultimate rare, just get blown out the water. Thug Failure, once again, it's cool. Alternate art looks really badass, but the original print version will hold better value. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, the full one, finally gets a QCR, but it's been years. It's out of date compared to when it should have been released, and we're still waiting for that OTS version of Ultimate Rare Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. You're not fooling us with this, Konami, said all the players as they dump that back into the market. Now, once again, I think this is a great set, but man, 42 pages, it just tells you how expensive this set is. So to go ahead and to consider buying sealed, it's kind of not worth it. $125 for a booster box of course Century Stampede. It's cool, but it's actually going to be pretty expensive. I do think this box potentially can rise in value as time goes on, due to the fact that it has so many cards that are just really nice cards. And whether or not they get reprints, it doesn't negate the fact that you still have beautiful versions of these cards, especially alternate art, higher rarity cards. Like Trap Dust Shoot, by the way, this is the second most expensive version, okay? It's about $39. It has been going down a little bit in value. I mean, it was already overpriced when it first came out. But if you look at the past month, it actually looks like it's starting to go up in value for a Trap Dust Shoot. The Super Rare is going to be worth more money, but this version is a good version to buy if you do not want to shell out the money for the Super Rare, which is roughly around, where is it? About $330.30. Why would you even type that? Don't be like type regular numbers like this guy over here. But yeah, $330 for a Super Rare Trap Dust Shoot. Once again, as a format, you do need it, and this is the best version. But if you want to save about $300 roughly, give or take, the QCR one, really good. Little fun fact, before I even used to play the Super Rares, I used to use the Dual Terminal one, and even that one started to increase in value. It says it's going down. That's bullshit. This card over here, $17. This card used to be like $4. For years, it used to be $4. Any plus, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Make sure to like button, make sure to subscribe button, comment down below. It's your boy V. and you guys also have a great day.